Gracias por volar en la aerolínea aérea de Phil Hendrie. Estaremos volando a una altitud de 30,000 pies. Oh, y también Green Card. El vuelo de esta noche estaremos presentando diarrea.
Now go take on the day.
Okay. 1-800-449-8686. Join me, Phil Hendrie, at our second Best of Phil Hendrie 1999 CD signing event. Communism is Neat. That's our CD for 99. We will be at GameWorks at the Block at Orange. GameWorks at the Block at Orange tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. That's 8 o'clock. GameWorks at the Block at Orange. It's off the 5 and the 22 on City Drive, 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Now, what you get is our CD signed, autographed, little comments on it, whatever you'd like. And then, of course, we'll sell you the CD for $20, and all the proceeds go to my friend's place. But coming out to our signings is sometimes it's fun for folks because we can talk, and I will personalize the CD for you, whoever you're giving it to, or for yourself, and also, have pictures taken. And what I think has happened over the course of 3 years, people are getting a little more creative with crap, so they'll say, hey, would you sign this to my brother and say such and such, so-and-so? So it's fun for people. So come on out tomorrow night if you'd like. We'll have our CD on sale there for $20 at GameWorks at the Block at Orange. 8 p.m., 1 hour after we get off the air tomorrow night. They're off the 5 and the 22 on City Drive. 1-800-449-8686. Allowances. How much do you give your kids an allowance? Bobbie Dooley's with the Western Estates Parent Teachers Organization, one of the largest parent-teacher organizations in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. And we were talking earlier about allowances and how much you pay a kid. We give our kids, for instance, $1 for every year they've been alive. So, for instance, the 14-year-old gets $14 a week. The 12-year-old gets $12 a week. The 8-year-old gets $8 a week. And the 10-year-old would get, I guess that'd be $10 a week. So that seems to work for our family. There was an article in the paper today that the median allowance in America per week, how much do you think it is? The median allowance in America per week for kids. It's now $50. $50 a week. You know that kind of change, man? If I made $50 a month, of course, yeah, $50 a week is a nice piece of change. That's $2 a month. Man, a kid can do so much with that kind of money. Bobbie Dooley with the Parent-Teacher Organization there in Western Estates. That's not a surprising figure for you, is it, Bobbie?
Well, Phil, I think, first of all, it's very important to understand that this is a different time from when you and I were young, and there are many more, I think, affluent and upper-middle-class families now, and things are more expensive. We do pay our children a inordinate allowance. For some people, for us, it is a normal allowance.
Now, you have 3 sons. You have Justin?
We have Justin, who is 13. We have Dylan, who is 11. And we have Seth, who is 9. We give our youngest $50 a week.
Oh, my God.
No, but you have to understand, Phil, that while it sounds generous, it is important for our boys to be generous, and it is important for our boys to spend that money wisely.
Well, what does the oldest get?
Our oldest boy gets $150 a week.
Isn't that unbelievably extravagant? $150 a week for a kid? There are people who...
Phil, could I interrupt you for a minute?
Yeah.
Because I think you're going to get off on a tangent here. I want to say something.
A tangent? I mean, $150 a week for a 13-year-old boy.
I really want to say something, Phil. My husband believes that as long as you are smart with your money, and as long as you are generous with your money, and as long as you teach these kids the meaning of a dollar, Phil, when we were kids, we weren't taught the meaning of a dollar.
Well, I will admit to you that maybe I didn't save as much money as I should have, but $150 a week allowance for a 13-year-old boy is normal? Or
no, that is at the high end, Phil, but we are an upper-middle-class family. You mentioned that the median amount of allowance the median amount of allowance for children today in the United States is $50, and that's about right. We are at the high end. But the boys are very generous with their money and with their friends. They are constantly with their guys, the guys that they pal around with, buying video games, Pokemon cards, soft drinks. Justin bought himself a mini bike that he lets his friends use. They go to movies. In other words, they do things that they need to do with the money that they have. And it's so unfair not for you to understand that this is a different time and a different place, and things are really expensive, Phil.
Are things that much more expensive now that a kid needs $150 a week?
Absolutely, Phil. Things have, since you and I were young people, they have doubled in price, in some cases even tripled in price. So you have to understand that it is important for a young person today to learn the value of a dollar and to understand what carrying a lot of money around is. Our boys, for better or for worse, are from an upper middle class family. My husband and I are very comfortable. My husband makes a very comfortable living. Okay? So,
all right, so, and the thinking is what? That if the boys are walking around with a lot of money, what?
Well, the thinking is, Phil, if they're walking around with a lot of money, then they understand what it is going to be like for them when they are adult men, when they do get into a career. They come from an affluent family. It is very, very likely that they will themselves be affluent or at least accomplished. So why not get them into the habit of carrying large amounts of money around? Now, we think this is good. We don't think that there is anything wrong. Justin, he's 14. He went ahead and got a tongue stud. He bought.
What is a tongue stud? Is that the thing through the tongue? Is that?
It's a piercing of the tongue, right? We felt that at his age, he's got a wonderful selection of shirts and clothes. He's got some really wild, crazy-looking shirts. That's what we believe. And
well, I got to tell you something. To the average person, $150 a week for a 13-year-old boy sounds a lot of money. And while I realize your family is affluent, your husband makes a lot of money.
My husband makes in the mid-six figures, so we're very, very comfortable. And
all right, but while that is a lot of money, and you're comfortable making a lot of money, and you're familiar making a lot of money, there are many families who are not familiar with that, and there are many families that I would imagine cannot afford it. Although you're right, the median allowance now is $50 a week. Have you met? Are there other parents who pay as much where you live?
Well, where we live in our parent-teacher organization?
Yeah, in Western States, either parent-teacher organization or the homeowners association.
Well, Phil, I had a call from Dolores Greer, who is a dear friend. She lives a street over. Her son Yamal and Justin pal around a lot. They hang around a lot. Some people are not familiar with our family and how much money Steve makes. And this sort of was a little bit of a shock to me. Dolores called me a week ago, and she said the following words, and I looked at my husband and I said, that proves that we really don't know our neighbors as well as we think we do. Because she had said to me, and I wrote it down, Phil, I would appreciate Justin not buying Yamal things. Because apparently my son Justin had bought Yamal a skateboard. He lets him use the mini bike and had purchased him some video games and some things for him, which I think is very generous. And
well, this mother had called you to tell you that your son was buying her son things?
She called me, Phil, and had the gall to say to me, I would appreciate Justin not buying Yamal things. And
what was her reason?
Well, her reason was she didn't like the so-called expensive things that Justin was buying all of his buddies. Video games and a Dreamcast. I don't know what that is.
A Dreamcast is an entire game system. Is he buying that for his friends? Is he buying that?
Well, apparently he bought that for this boy, Yamal, and my sons are generous. And this woman has the gall to say to me, I'd appreciate it if your son not buy my son things. And I told my husband this, and he said to me, Bobbie, understand, not everyone has the money that we have. Not everyone is as comfortable as we are. They don't get it about kids having an allowance. I'll tell you, it felt like someone had kicked me in the groin with a steel-toed boot when she said that.
Well, that is proof, though, that some families don't pay their kids that kind of an allowance. And the fact that they're uncomfortable with their kids having things bought for them by the other kid on the block who's making his $150 a week allowance is a matter of pride, perhaps. And
well, pride comes before the fall, Phil. And if my boys want to be generous and buy their friends things because their friends' parents are too cheap to give them a good allowance, then I think my boys ought to be entitled to something like that. And that's what we're doing battle with right now in our PTO.
All right, Bobbie, hang on. Bobbie Dooley from the Western States Parent Teachers Organization. Her sons get anywhere from $50 to $150 a week in allowance. And apparently one of the mothers in the neighborhood doesn't like her sons buying the other kids all kinds of stuff with that very, very, in my opinion, high allowance money. Apparently her oldest son got a tongue stud. He bought one of his friends a Dreamcast game system. They're buying Pokemon cards, soft drinks, and video games and passing them out to all their buddies. 1-800-449-8686. It's the Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show at 1-800-449-8686. And to answer your question you asked me during the commercial break, my wife, Maria, is doing very, very fine, and we are looking forward to a good Christmas.
And your in-laws, I love your father-in-law.
Yeah, Al he's doing well. They're gonna be with us, although my brother-in-law won't. He's going up north. I want to get back, and I trust your family's good.
Everyone is wonderful, Phil. We're looking forward to a good Christmas, yeah.
Okay, getting back to what you're talking about, you give your boys a large allowance. Your eldest gets $150 a week.
Phil, one of the things I think is important, some people are at the low end of the income scale. That's fine, especially where we live in Western States. Dolores and her husband James live in the Gardenia plan, which is really the low end of it's one of our entry-level phases.
Now, what do you mean by an entry-level? You live in a planned community, which is Western Estates, right?
Yes. It's not. It's an estate community. That is, the homes here are anywhere from $600,000 on up, so they are considered estates. Where Dolores and her husband live is the Gardenia plan. That is entry-level. So when you move into Western Estates, you are allowed to buy there first, and then can move up to the more expensive properties once you've been with us for a while, and we can, get to know you a little bit and see what you're about. But these people are entry level. So my boy Justin has befriended this young man, Yamal, and I have always taught my children to be generous and mindful of those less fortunate. Some people, our prosperity is being ignored, I think, when she calls up and says she doesn't want that.
Well, we're talking about this woman, Dolores Greer, who called up and said she doesn't want her son having expensive gifts purchased for him by your other boys.
That's correct, yeah, and we think she's really, really out of line.
All right. Kearney Mesa on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yeah, actually,
Hi.
I believe that Jamal's mother is right on the nose because, what kind of values is this one boy learning with that? $50 a week. I believe that Jamal's going to grow up learning the value of $1, and also, what kind of citizen is he going to be? Are you going to pay for him till he's 30, or when's he going to learn all this stuff?
Well, we think that our boys, are very generous. They are mindful of other people. When we do give them this kind of an allowance, it's commensurate with my husband's income. So we can afford it. And I think that given the fact that we can afford it, it's something that the boys get. And I think they're responsible with it.
Well, that's fine for you, but I think Jamal's mother, what she's doing is correct. 14-year-old, if someone was buying my child very expensive gifts, it would make me angry, too. That's up to me to decide what they should have or shouldn't have.
Well, we were really offended by it because why would you be offended by someone buying your boy something? The boy was purchased video games and soft drinks and things.
What are the things that he's buying? You said he bought him a mini bike?
Well, he allowed him to use the mini bike. He did not buy him a mini bike, no. But he uses the mini bike, and a Dreamcast and a PlayStation. So,
well, those are very expensive gifts. I mean, those are $200, $300 gifts.
Mm-hmm. Right. So isn't it wonderful that we can do those things for people?
Well, that is wonderful, but you also put the value of your son on a dollar bill. You know, they need to learn values and other things about who cares if you're making $20,000, $80,000. It's about being a good citizen, not how much money you're making. I think you're getting a little confused there.
Well, what my boy is going to be successful. I mean, every mother hopes that her child will be. And in so being successful, I think that he needs to get used to the fact that he's going to have money in his pocket.
That's
and he's
not
going
what
to
success is.
You know,
success isn't about how much money's in your pocket. I think that's where the problem is.
But he needs to get used to carrying large dollar amounts, I think.
Why? Because you're going to keep giving him money until he's 30, 40?
No, because he obviously is going to be successful. He has a good education ahead of him, and he's a very smart boy. And I don't know, maybe Dolores is upset because maybe her son won't be as successful. I don't know. Who is successful that's poor? Who's successful?
Do you listen to yourself what you're saying? You're putting down somebody for not making as much money to you.
Well, who is successful that's poor? I don't know anyone.
What's poor to you?
I don't know anyone that's
You're making
successful
six
that's poor.
figures, so someone making seven figures might say that you're really poor too. It's not about how much money you have. I came from a background of welfare, and now I'm making $60,000, so I guess I'm poor. But I have great values, and I respect people. My 14-year-old's going to grow up to be a successful person by what she does in life, not how much money she has in her pocket.
Well, how much do you pay her in her allowance?
It depends on what she does throughout the week.
But you can't. Can you afford that much? Probably not, right?
See your attitude. You kind of got
Bobby, do you hear?
attitude.
Bobby, do you hear what you're saying? You're saying you probably can't afford that much.
Well, she said she makes $60,000.
If I wanted to give her $150, I can afford it.
My husband, Steve, how much if you make $60,000?
That's what I make. My husband makes more, but that's not really the point. You're trying to figure out how much money is coming.
My husband
I don't care if I can afford to give her $1,000 a week.
My husband wants to know if your husband makes 6 figures a year or what.
And my point is, what difference? Why are you trying to keep up with the Joneses? That's anybody under 6 figures to you.
Well, part of wanting to be successful is having money. I don't know. What is your name?
Judy.
Judy, I'm Bobbie. Something I think you'll learn is that part of being successful is having money. Okay?
Nope.
And you'll learn that someday.
Okay, well, that's great for you, but to me, money to you is happiness. Maybe you don't have a very good, loving relationship with your husband. I don't know, but to me...
Добрый день. Спасибо, что вы выбрали компанию Phil Hendrie Air. Наш полет будет проходить на высоте 300 тысяч фит. И еще водка. Наш полет включает борщ. Я еще хочу упомянать Чернобыль.
Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Bobbie Dooley with the Western States Parent Teachers Organization. We're discussing this week allowances for kids. Article in the paper today, mind blower for me, but perhaps if you make enough money, if the home income is such that you can afford it, fine. The median allowance in America for kids, $50 a week. Now, that sounds like a large piece of change for a guy that's not doing anything, okay? But with Bobbie on the line here and a few other parents, that seems to be the normal thing. Now, I wanted to ask you, Bobbie, because we're talking about your son, Justin, who gets $150 a week, correct?
That's correct. Justin's our eldest, Phil. And he
gets $150 a week?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Dylan is your second oldest at 11. He gets $100 and then $50 a week for your 9-year-old, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Can I ask you what it is, you made a comment about our prosperity being ignored. What does that mean?
Well, Phil, when you're successful and you want to do something for people and they say, no, we don't want your money, what is that about? Now, my son Justin wants to be in a rock band that they started at school, and he needed a keyboard, some keyboards He said the keyboards. What is it called?
He wants to get a keyboard, like a piano.
A piano, okay. So we bought him, is it called a hip-hop?
It's like hip-hop. It's like sample stuff.
Who is that, Steve?
Yeah, it's Steve.
Okay, I need to talk to either one of the two of you, okay, not both?
All right, well, it's a hip-hop. It makes all of the, Steve, tell Phil.
Phil, it makes sound like, boom, whoa, boom, whoa, whoa, when you hit the keys.
Yeah, it's like the sampled sounds that the kids use on the keyboards when they're playing like hip-hop music.
That's right. It is totally awesome, and it'd probably be something that'd be really good for your show. You'd love to use for your show. And we bought this for him, okay? And now they won't let him in the band. And so we placed a phone call to this kid's mother and asked her why he can't be in the band. And he said he has to learn how to play the piano, but we got him a hip-hop keyboard, so he don't need to know how to play.
You see, Phil, it's the kind of keyboard where you don't have to know how to play. You can just have the hip-hop rap sound effects.
And the kids won't let him in the band. Why?
Because they said he has to learn how to play the piano. Now, this boy has been the beneficiary of a great deal of Justin's generosity. Video games, soft drinks after school, rides on the mini bike, and now they won't let him in the band. And we're going to have to get a little tough and remind them of who we are.
Well, I don't know how you're going to get tough and force kids to accept another kid into their band, especially when you involve parents. You talk about humiliating the kid. Here's Huntington Beach on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi.
We don't humiliate our children, Phil.
I know you don't humiliate your children, but you could very well by forcing him into a band that the other kids don't want him to be a member of. Go ahead, Huntington Beach. Sorry.
Hi. I just wanted to comment on her attitude towards how much money she makes or how much money her husband makes. Other people like to teach their family members, especially their children, morals and values. And when things are given to you, you don't appreciate them as much. Are you listening to me? Because all you do is talk.
Your phone broke up, ma'am. Could you say that again? Oh.
She's actually listening.
Yeah, ma'am, your car phone is... Okay, say that again, dear, because your car phone broke up, all right?
Is she listening and absorbing what people are telling her because she keeps saying,
No, I'm here for you. I'm listening to what you're saying. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you need to be a little bit more concerned about how much attention and how much love you're showing to your children, because it seems like all you're concerned about is how much money your husband makes.
Right. Well,
Do you make any money? Do you contribute any money to the household?
Well, my husband makes mid-six figures.
Okay, you know what? You've repeated that at least 10 times. I don't really care if your husband makes six figures
what does your husband
or
do?
8 figures.
What does your husband do?
I'm not married. I'm not married. And I don't need a man to support me. I'm very self-sufficient, and I can support myself.
How do you make a living?
I work.
Well, I know, but what I mean, do you have children? Or?
Does it really matter what I do? The point is...
you sound a little jealous, okay? Let me just be honest. I want to be honest with you, okay? You sound a little bit jealous.
I think you're misreading. He's not jealous. The woman wants to know, do you have a job?
Phil, excuse me, but I've raised 3 sons.
Okay, you know what? Being a mother is a very
I almost died in childbirth. I almost died in childbirth. I've raised 3 sons. I've kept a home together. I am the president of the Parent Teachers Organization. I'm also president of our homeowners association.
You know what? I think you're just too caught up in the status of your lifestyle.
For you to say those things, and what do you do?
I work, and it doesn't matter what I do, and it doesn't matter how much I make. The point is that you are too concerned about everybody knowing how much you make, how much your husband makes. Maybe your kid feels like he has to give things to other people because children don't like him.
Well, no, the children do like him.
Okay, well, wouldn't you rather your child have friends because they're truly his friends, not what he can offer them?
They like him very much. I
would like somebody very much, too, if they were giving me $300 games.
I like the fact...
I think you need to step into reality.
I live in reality.
I don't think you do. I don't think
First of all, I don't think you heard what I said. This is a family that has moved into our gardenia phase, which is an entry-level phase. Okay, Steve, she's being sarcastic.
All right, ladies, let's, if I may say this, we need to grow up a little bit here, okay?
Well, then why don't you tell her to grow up?
To focus on her family life instead of just giving.
These children used him for his power, and now they want him in the band. And did she hang up? Yes, she did. Okay, so they won't let him in the band, even though they used him for the power that he has. I think it's really disgusting, and we have put in appropriate phone calls to all the parents. And my son, Justin, will be the keyboard player in Transparent Obstruction, and he will be...
What is Transparent Obstruction? I'm sorry?
That's the name of the rock band. That woman was chicken crap. I really did.
She hang up on you?
She really did. Oh, my...
All right, let's not call names, especially somebody who cannot defend themselves. All right. What is Transparent Obstruction? That's the name of the rock band your son wants to be in. You're gonna call the parents and force him into a band. The other boys don't want him in. You have to understand he has to earn that position.
We went out and bought him $500 sample hip-hop keyboard.
You know, Phil, it's kind of goes... You know the one I'm talking about?
I know the one you're talking about, man. One of our guys has one of those things, okay?
$500. And now they won't let him in the group? I don't think so.
Well, you can't force them out. You can't force these kids to let them into a group. It's a rock and roll band. It's a thing, man. It's just a thing, and the guys are going to have to work it out. Lancaster on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Yes, my comment is...
Yes, ma'am.
I understand that you're teaching your children money, but are you teaching your children the value of friendship? Are they buying their friends? Do they think that spending money is how to gain friendship? Or do they understand that friendship is something that is honorable among friends?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
I said, do they understand the value of friendship, or are they just trying to buy friendship? Did you understand me?
No, because when you have money, you give it to people so that they'll like you. What are you talking about?
Well, what I'm talking about is you keep stating that they have that you're angry because the lady, Jameel's mom or whatever his name was mad because called you and was mad because your son bought her something. But it doesn't sound to me like you're teaching your kids what friendship is. Just because you have a friend doesn't mean that you have to buy them everything. Well, and I don't think that's being generous. If you want to teach your children the value of generosity, why don't you teach them to give to charity, to give to the homeless? Well, if you are telling me that your friends, these are people that live in your quote-unquote society and they're just amongst one grade under you, then what do they need their money for? Why can't their friends buy it? That's what I'm saying. Are they buying their friends?
No, I don't know what you're saying. Dolores and James Greer are good friends of ours. Their son Yamal and our son Justin, they pal around together like guys do. Okay? Now Yamal has put together a rock and roll group, and Justin wants to be in the group. It's not like he's buying stuff for his enemies. He's buying things for people he likes. And Justin wants to be in Yamal's group. So he said he can be in the group if he's a keyboard player. So we went out and we bought Justin some keyboards, and they still won't let him in the group.
But they won't let him in the group because he doesn't know how to play piano.
Exactly.
But we bought him one of those hip hop keyboards where you can do all of the music.
I think you're kind of missing my point.
What we're saying is if he doesn't make it into the band, then his parents will have to deal with it in the homeowners association.
Okay, now
what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're just going to have to suck it up. I mean, there's going to be perhaps an assessment. Or
how can you assess people more money in the homeowners association because the boy didn't make it into the rock and roll band? To me, that sounds like extortion. Here's a guru on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to ask this lady.
We got him a great haircut for the group.
Hello,
and we got him all kinds of
excuse
clothes.
me, you're interrupting me.
Yeah.
I think you need to really pay attention to your history, and there are many, many very successful people in history that had not one dime.
Well,
do you not consider? Excuse me.
It depends on
Stop
what you
and
call
listen.
success.
Stop and listen.
It depends on what you call success.
Okay, let me ask you. Do you consider Mother Teresa successful?
Is she the one? She's the one that did what?
She was a Roman Catholic nun
who helped the poor people.
Do you consider Mahatma Gandhi successful? Do you consider?
Well, no, I don't.
Do you consider Van Gogh successful?
No,
sorry,
he didn't. No, Van Gogh cut his ear off. So no, I don't even think Van Gogh considered himself successful.
My dear, if you have so much money,
what did she or her buy for people?
If you have so much money, I'm sure you own a couple of Van Goghs.
What did she buy?
Why would you buy a Van Gogh if he wasn't successful?
I didn't buy a Van Gogh.
And And let me ask
Did you buy a Van
if your
Gogh?
beautiful estate was to burn down, would you consider the firemen that save your precious Justin successful? Honey, let me tell you, they don't make
You're
six
so
figures.
jealous. You're
they
so
don't
jealous,
make
aren't
six
you?
figures.
Where's she calling from, Phil?
Agura.
My dear.
Oh, Agura. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you people out there have been wannabes for a long time.
honey, I don't live in Agora A. I'm on my car phone. You have no clue how much money I have. I could probably buy your house 3 times over, my darling.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, you may not think so, but the fact remains. You cannot tell your precious Justin that he cannot buy his friends, and that's the harsh reality of his life.
He's not trying to buy his friends.
Yes,
his friends should let him into the group.
It is absolutely inappropriate to buy extravagant gifts for 14-year-olds. So pull yourself together, pull your head out, figure out reality. I don't live in Agora, so get that straight. First of all, get your
She doesn't live in Agora. She keeps saying she does not live in Agora.
Well, there's obviously a jealousy factor going on here, okay? I didn't say anything about owning a Van Gogh. Okay,
I'm just pointing out that success has zero to do with your 6
Mother
figures.
Teresa is
None.
successful.
You're clearly not a successful person because you don't have a very sharp mind, and I know make more than 6 figures.
Okay, if you think Mother Teresa is successful, then why don't you go and feed the poor?
For all you know, I do. You have no clue what I do.
So you don't,
You have no clue what I do, my dear. So don't make any example out of me.
You don't feed the poor. I know that. I can tell by listening to you.
You're a very sad, pathetic woman.
Well, I think you're hypocritical.
The world revolves around your dollar, because,
I think
my
you're
dear,
very hypocritical. You're very hypocritical.
And let's hope you don't get carjacked in your Rolls Royce and need a police officer, because, honey, they don't make 6 figures either.
Well, I don't drive a Rolls Royce.
I consider them very successful.
I drive a Lincoln Navigator.
And the teachers that are teaching your precious Justin aren't making 6 figures either. And you know what?
Did Mother Teresa have a cell phone?
Why would you have them?
I don't think Mother Teresa had a cell phone. Why don't you emulate Mother Teresa and throw your cell phone out the window?
I don't think Mother Teresa did that, honey. You're obviously not a religious person.
Did she have a cell phone?
In fact, let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
You know, you're so jealous, you people.
Are you a religious person?
Am I what?
Are you religious?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
So you're a Christian? You consider yourself a Christian?
Yes, I would.
Do you consider your
what denomination?
preacher a successful person?
Who?
Your preacher in your church? Is he successful?
We don't go to a church specifically.
I see. You're your own God. I can feel that energy.
You know, can I tell you something? Jealousy doesn't suit you. You don't wear it well.
It would be nice if you had an original statement.
You really don't.
You haven't had one in the last 20 minutes.
You really don't wear jealousy very well.
Phil, is this woman for real?
Are you going home?
No, I'm just listening to you two guys sniping back and forth here.
Which, you know, Phil, I would not be sniping if this lady dealt with the issues at hand, but instead she's making personal attacks and coming off like the bitch that she is.
Okay, the name calling we don't need, okay?
You're hysterical.
I'm hysterical?
Honey, I'm
what
going
do you
to
do
my
for a living?
estate. I actually make 7 figures.
So you're not Mother Teresa, I take it.
Put that in your pipe and smoke
I guess you're not successful by Mother Teresa standards,
I'm heading off to Hidden Valley where I live, and I'm quite successful.
Okay, Dr.
And maybe
Laura.
I do give plenty of money to the poor.
And who are you married to?
Oh, that's none of your business.
Well, obviously someone very wealthy.
Obviously, maybe I have my own money.
Maybe not.
No, you never know.
Well, I do. You don't, and that's that.
But just tell your little Justin that he can't buy his friends, and he'll learn that pretty quick if he doesn't already.
Who's your father then? If your husband didn't buy it for you?
Maybe I made my own money. You have no clue.
Are you thinking, Bobbie, that maybe she made...
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, you need to. Thanks, Phil.
Who's this bitch you're talking to?
Okay, we don't need... Thank you very much, man. We don't need the comment from Steve, who's always in the background there. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Bobbie Dooley from Western Estates Parent Teachers Organization. She pays her eldest son $150 a week in allowance, her second eldest $100 a week in allowance, and her youngest $50 a week in allowance. Their sons are very generous with their allowance money. They buy their friends lots of things. Some of the parents have called to complain, and Bobbie says it's because they're jealous of her husband's 6-figure income. Here is Thousand Oaks. You're on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
First of all, I want to start off by saying, on behalf of every working woman in America, I want to apologize for having to listen to this lady. It's just so atrocious. But anyway,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
On behalf of every working woman in America.
Yes.
Oh,
How dare you insult every woman that calls this show because your husband is rich. Some of us happen to work for our money and work very well at it.
I'm the one who's been insulted for my husband having a six-figure income.
Really?
Yes, they called up and said that I don't get it.
I don't know. I just think that on behalf of all women, you put forward one poor example of society.
You callers have been vicious to me.
And the point that society is going.
You people have been vicious to me, and you've been mean to me.
My people? Oh, my God.
Well, the people the people that have called. You're right. You don't know. You're right about that. You got that
But anyway, back to the issue at hand. I want you to know that attacking someone in their home just because your children, let me remind you, your children do not get along. The point of them being children and us being adults is that we need to act like adults and not mitigate
Why won't they let
do.
him in the band? Why won't they let Justin in Transparent Obstruction? You know why?
Why won't they let him wear a bikini to school? It doesn't matter what they won't let him do. They are children.
He breaks bad on a keyboard.
Yeah, he's a good keyboard player, and the other boys won't let him play.
I am happy. Maybe he needs to go find some other friends to play with. Why do you
Why won't they let him in the group?
You need to become
He bought them
an issue
things.
in his parents' life.
He bought them things. Why won't they let him in the group?
He bought them Dreamcast and everything. Now they won't let him in the group.
That's
Look,
fine.
Bobbie.
Tell him to go form his own group.
Bobbie.
Why is that such a hard factor to think to go
Well, I
form
think they're
his
being
own
very
group?
cruel. I think they're being very cruel to him.
He does the song, You Got to Fight for Your Right to Party.
I am being very cruel to him, but you are going to reassess their home, his parents' home,
What did
just
I say
because
about his
they won't let him play in the band?
What did I say about his parents' home? They are in the entry-level phase of the Gardenia plan, and once you get more income, then you can move up to the next level, and then finally, you know, you're allowed in.
So why would that have any bearing on whether or not your son should play in their band?
Well, because I think things happen. You know, if you don't do what I want you to do, I can make some changes.
And I pray
Oh,
to God,
man, what is that supposed to mean?
I pray to God that their parents, his parents, are taping this right now, because the second that anything gets denied to them, they can very easily take this recording and sue you.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You know the old saying.
And that was just broadcasted on live radio.
One hand washes the other.
One hand washes the other.
I pray to God that they tape this station because, my God.
What did you say? It was broadcasted?
Oh, yes.
God. It's called broadcast.
Yes.
Whatever. The lady's making a point that you are making yourself liable for legal action by saying that you're purposely going to mess with their homeowners association dues or their status as a homeowner because their son isn't in a rock band.
Oh, quit getting dramatic.
Quit getting dramatic?
Oh, my God.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know something, Phil? You're really over...
You know that some people's whole dream in life is to move their children into a nice home?
You're really over the top,
And you're going to slow this family down from moving into a nice home that they deserve because your son has no keyboard talent?
You better do some scratching. You know what I'm saying?
I need to do some scratching?
That's right.
That's very nice advice.
I'll tell you something. You're starting to piss me off.
Oh, I'm happy about that because your attitude towards me has no bearing on my life.
Well,
Phil Hendrie Show.